Greetings. This is Elder Blacklight, Phenomenal. The Phenomenal One in the D313 in the woods by the lakes. Temple number 1 is what I prefer to call Detroit, because this is where it all started. This is Soulskool'n. And this is the first degree of knowing who you are, knowing your original culture. The last video I was using the term Muslim. I was comparing foreign-born Muslims that make the United States their homes, the United States of America. And before we get started on breaking down the word Muslim, you can never be a Muslim living in America. Because even if you practice righteousness, the foundation of America is unrighteous. And it's an unrighteous culture. So it's kind of impossible for you to practice righteousness because the laws of the United States is unrighteous from the very beginning. And Muslim is a universal terminology. You can't say I'm Muslim American. That negates the term Muslim. The United States, let's break down that. United States, they united in the way they view things, in the way they do things. They united in the way that they look at the black man. So no matter what part of the United States that you live in, no matter what state, city, they look at you unitedly the same way. You look at yourself the same way. That's why you call each other niggas. That's why you hate each other, because the United States hates you. What is the United States? The United States comes from, it's a concept. It comes from the mind of the European Caucasian. And they had fought a war because they weren't thinking on the same lines. The South wasn't thinking like the North, and the North thought they had a better way to exploit, enslave. What they was gonna do was upgrade their technology and use a different technique of mind control. So that's why they had to fight with the with the South, because it was all involving money also. Who controls the money controls everything, because everybody is orientated and conditioned to bow down to that dollar. So in the Bible it talks about this, in the Quran and in other books it talks about materialism and how you could worship an inanimated object. And Muhammad went to the Kaaba and excuse my language. Muhammad 1400 years ago ran out the idol worshippers and the big money men that was holding down the Kaaba. And Jesus ran out the money changers from the temples. Last video I was trying to give you an illustration of how these prophets were in the same frame of mind, but they were in different times, but they would be in alignment with each other. And every time the planets be in alignment with each other to create a certain condition, so does the prophets and the messengers. And just like the disciples of Jesus, you know, all of them had a different view of the teachings of Jesus. The same way with Prophet Muhammad. His, I want to say disciples had a different view of the teachings. The same way with Elijah. His disciples had a different view of his teachings. And therefore you get different cults and different, or different sets rather, not cults, but sets of the teachings. And so we're going to go very slow and reorientate it. You got to have a reorientation of what's going on. You got adjustment, and you got to have adjustment of all the lessons in the past got to be lining up to fit our behavior now. So this is a black light.